we're going for a walk. This is the first time I picked up the camera, I want to say for about 3 months. And we got Mike in the back, and Burnley as well, who's cowering because he doesn't like driving. Pretty nice weather, and I'm going to be incredibly rusty at this because I haven't vlogged literally for about 3 months, so yeah, we'll just have to see how this goes.
He's coming, he's coming. Calm down, boy. Oh, Jesus. He's so fucking excited.
Burnley.
Oh, mate! He just stepped on my stomach and. Oh.
He made you burp?
Yeah,
mate.
Oh shit!
Can make that up. Alright, so one of the main purposes of me being here today is because Mike has a new toy.
I do indeed.
And it's not actually released yet, so we're going to do a quick review.
A6600.
Looks very pretty.
Yeah.
We figured we'd test it in vlog format.
Yes. Shall I quickly show some of the main features?
Yeah, do it. Go on.
Okay. So first of all, just like the A6400, it has a flip screen, so 180-degree flip screen. It also has the 5-axis stabilization, just like the A6500. However, the major, I'll say, improvement for this one is the Z battery, the FZ100 battery, which you will find in the full frame lineup, such as the A7 Mark III, the R3, and even the A9. So to have this battery in a compact form is going to be much better for those who you know, are doing videography, vlogs, because they're not going to have to keep changing the batteries. Also for photographers, it's basically more than doubling the amount of photos you can take. So it's going from about, I think, typically 420 photos up to, it says between 720 to about 810 photos on this one battery. So yeah, there's quite a few good improvements. The other thing is the real-time face tracking and the eye tracking, animal eye autofocus.
What's up, dude?
Alright, you ready?
Yeah, basically, just to clarify, this is the A6500 I'm filming on with my 1670Z Zeiss lens, and yeah, so we're gonna change over to the 66 and go through some of the features. Alright, so we're now in the middle of the Forest of Beer. 100-acre wood. It's not a blustery day though, so that's good. So the first feature I'm going to talk about is the screen, which is fliptastic. Looking at me right now, which means I can frame the image, which means I can see if Mike's in the image, which makes it very easy to film things without guesswork.
Sure is.
So that's the first thing I'm loving about it, is basically that I don't have to worry about what I'm actually looking for. At the moment, I've got no microphone on here, so we are actually using the stock microphone inside the camera, which is really good. So I've heard, at least. It's going to be probably the same one as what's on the 6500. I guess we'll find out when we hear this audio back.
Which, once again, wasn't bad. It's just, you know, you obviously if you just want to enhance it more, then you've got alternatives for accessories, etc.
Exactly.
And the one thing which you can't see, but we can see, is actually real-time tracking our eyes. So normally, obviously, it'll focus on the subject. I can't remember which models have it, but where obviously it'll detect your face. But this is actually focusing on the eye, which is incredible.
Which is nuts. And yeah, it's a very stable image as well, which is nice. It does have the IBIS in-body stabilization that the 6500 has as well, which is the difference between that and the 6400, which is much cheaper, which doesn't have IBIS and is notably lighter. But the first thing I noticed when Mike actually gave me this camera to use today was that the grip is actually a lot bigger than the 6500, which I really like. I like a big stable grip, so that's one thing that's turning me on to this camera versus the 65 I regularly film on.
There we are, switch it to animal eye autofocus. So if you get if you can get his attention,
Burnley,
you should hopefully.
Hey Burns, you doing, dude? Benny. We're trying to test the autofocus for animals right now, but
he never looks at the camera, does he?
Bernie's, yeah, he's not interested. I think the time's come to test the microphone with this camera, the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. Go through some pros and cons of that, and hopefully the audio will sound reasonable while Mike gets his drone out.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Alright, the DJI Mavic Mini.
Should we get that shit up in the air?
Oh no, what did I do? Ah!
No, this is looking really good right now. This is the most exciting YouTube video you've ever seen.
You know it! Sync test. 1, 2, 3. Because obviously this doesn't play any audio, so
Sure.
yeah.
Alright, so this is the new DJI Mavic Mini. Very nice. Very smooth. Mike's brand new at flying it, so we'll just see what happens. Looks like a head crab when it's in the sky. Any Half-Life fans out there? Pretty cool, man. I wish I had one of those. We're losing the light, so we're gonna head back to the car. So what's your opinion on the drone then, dude?
I mean, I love it. The only thing is, because obviously it's technically, out of all their models, it's a budget range of the Mavic, so it's really fun to fly. It's quite responsive. Obviously, it's a little bit risky if you're going into areas where there is no GPS signal, because you do lose the home point function. But you can get some cracking shots, but there is literally no manual exposure control. The most you have is the exposure value compensation. But because it's auto, for example, when I was panning into the sunset, it was exposing for the sunset or the sky. So I had to keep adjusting the exposure value. So that is definitely a negative. Obviously, it's going to be good for those who can't afford to spend £2,000 on one of the higher modelled drones, as well as the big ass controller you can get. But for £360, though, I would recommend going for the Fly More combo, because you get 3 batteries, you get a case, you get a charger, you get extra propellers. £90 extra for all that is so much more worth it, because just 2 batteries alone is £90 extra. So spend the initial money up front and cover yourself for the future. But yeah, definitely would recommend, but if you're really looking for proper professional results, you may want to save up for the higher models, because like I said, you get that actual manual exposure. But for everything else, I think it's going to be an absolute killer. That's my opinion.
And for everything else, there's MasterCard, which you pretty much need if you want to buy the higher models because of how expensive they are. What about you, dude? What do you think?
I know, I flew it. It's cool. If you want to just, like, you know, just for something that's fun to whiz around, obviously, you know, even though it's a drone that you don't have to register because it's under 250 grams, it is still something you have to bear in mind with the rules and all that. Literally 249 grams. It's so light. And the other thing as well, look at this.
Like, so
is the same surface size as my Xperia XZ2 Compact.
So if you were to put like an Oreo on top of it,
I mean, I'm sure I can take that Oreo. You could probably deliver an Oreo to someone.
Technically, it's 250 grams. Isn't it?
Wait, what? The whole? Oh no, like yeah. I mean, it doesn't count as an aircraft, does it? So they're not like, oh, you put an Oreo on it. Now that you've got to register it, you know, like that isn't going to happen.
I think we're getting a little too technical.
I think we are.
Also, as a testament to the IBIS in this camera, this is not the stablest path, and I can see just from the viewfinder that I've been filming, and I've got a dodgy foot, so I'm like,
it's actually good.
so yeah, with all that in mind, it's through the viewfinder I haven't noticed any great shaking of the image, and I guess we'll find out actually when I get to editing it, but yeah, pretty good so far. That is of course the same as the 6500, so to be honest, if all you're looking for is a flippy screen, for vlog purposes, I have a big microphone, this camera wouldn't work for me unless I got the attachment to move the microphone over towards the power button, or if I had a camera with a flippy out screen like the higher end Canons.
Don't forget the battery as well. Going by the advertisement specs, it can last 2 hours and 10 minutes roughly, maybe a little bit more, on continuous filming, which is a hell of a long time. The other features and specifications, like the more up-to-date software, eye tracking, face tracking, I mean the fact that it can eye track whilst we're filming, absolutely incredible. Animal eye autofocus as well. Now I would say the eye autofocus for the animals is more perfected for dogs and cats. It does work on other animals, but obviously this is a starting point for them. I'm sure as the years pass they're gonna perfect it more, just like they have with the human eye autofocus. When the eye autofocus originally came out, it was only on photography rather than videography, and it was when on single focus. Was it single shot rather than single focus rather than continuous focus? What is Bernie doing?
He's getting in my way.
Yeah, so a lot of tech in this camera.
A lot of tech in this camera, and essentially, as long as you're not like a zootographer or something, you're pretty good to take photos of your favourite dog and cat.
Yeah.
Slash neighbour's dog and cat, slash stolen dog and cat.
It definitely works on foxes.
Oh, cool.
And lions.
We're losing the light. It doesn't look like it on the viewfinder because, at the end of the day, we have good exposure and everything, and this camera settings are set up to deal with that, but we are losing the light now. It's going to be dark shortly, so we're going to head back to the car, summarise quickly, and then I'm going to switch back to my 6500 and sadly say goodbye to this camera for a while. Until Mike's generous enough to let me use it again.
Of course.
So cheers for that, dude.
No worries.
Go and check out his channel, MyKeyReviews. Link down below in the description. Back to the car. Back to the old camera. See you in a mo. Alright, what up YouTube? I'm back in my room. It's nice and warm in here compared to outside. It was Baltic, not a big fan. And I'm also not a big fan of the tiny little grip that's on this 6500 now that I've held the thickness of the 6600's grip. Thanks Mike for letting me use that. Basically, this has been sort of a less in-depth review of the 6600 and by extension the Mavic. So from a vlogging perspective, I would definitely recommend that you get that 6600 if you have the budget for it. If you don't have the budget for it, the 65 is pretty damn good with the IBIS. Bottom line is the Alpha series are all very, very good cameras. So right from the 5000 all the way up to the A73 is it now, I think they're on. So yeah, Alpha series, boom, good. And they're all E-mount cameras, so they all take the same lenses. And only the higher end ones take the new Z battery versus the older style batteries that the 65 uses. So yeah, the 6600 is the only one that you'll have the problem of having to swap out all your batteries for. So yeah, that's pretty much all the details I can give you from now. I just wanted to quickly summarise the video, as we didn't do it outside because we were frozen solid. So with that said, I'm going to end the video here. If this video was helpful to you, please hit the subscribe button, please hit the bell icon, then hit the like button, and then head on over to Mike's channel, rinse and repeat, and then hopefully we can make some more cool videos like this. Or something. See you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.